Hi, my name's Em, if I don't know you already, and this is Gabe. And we're here on Whidbey Island in Washington State on this beautiful snowy day. This is the land of the Tulalip people, the Coast Salish people. So taking this moment to acknowledge wherever you are as you watch this video, the land that you're on, the body that you're in. And this is a video, I was inspired to make a sequence for my pregnant mamas out there. Ellen and Georgina, I have you in my heart. And wanting to share some of the movements and moves that have been supportive during my pregnancy. So this is a gentle prenatal flow to really get into stabilizing the hips and the sacrum, opening up the chest, and finding a way of bringing in coherency and connection to what's happening inside us. So that's my aim for this sequence. And all you'll need is a blanket or a pillow, something comfortable to sit on, and also to support your knees, because we'll be on our hands and knees a good amount of time. So when you're ready, we'll come to our seat, supportive seat. That could be in a chair or on the ground. And anything I say is a suggestion. Use your discernment and your innate wisdom to decide if it's best to apply for your body in this time. I'm going to place my hands on my womb space. You're welcome to close your eyes. You're also welcome to keep your eyes open, just allowing awareness to become a little more internal now. Allow your pelvis to be supported by the ground. So that could be sitting on the floor, so letting your pelvis sink more into the floor. It might be a chair. Whatever contact your body has with the earth, giving it permission to meet that support. And at the same time, from the support of the earth, allowing the spine to lift up from that support. Back of the neck gets long, slightly tuck your chin. Very subtly lengthen the collarbones by lifting the center of the sternum. Shift your weight forward and back, side to side, around your pelvis to get a sense of center for you and your body. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Now tap in more intimately to the space under your hands, in this womb space. Acknowledging the miracle that is happening inside your body at this time. There's so much mystery to this life that's unfolding. So much that we are currently experiencing inside our own body that is not in our control. So acknowledging and respecting this mysterious, creative source of life. And allowing this time to come into contact with that mystery with deep respect. Acknowledging wherever you might be in your pregnancy journey. And as we witness and practice witnessing these changes that are ever constant, especially as our bodies are transforming to create this life, we can witness these changes with curiosity. And in that space between the constant ebb and flow, the contraction and expansion, we can find a pause. And in that space is where a lot of the magic lies, where we can presence ourselves and just take delight in this miracle of life. If your eyes are closed, we will open them. We're going to, if you have your legs crossed, you can switch the cross of your legs. Just some simple breath awareness exercises to start. Inhale, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, bring your hands down your central axis in front of the heart. And just again, inhale, arms sweep out, palms up. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bring your hands back down through center. And just one more. Inhale, arms sweep and reach. Exhale, bring it back down. And we'll come to all fours. And here's where you might have a blanket under your knees. Make it supportive for you. So spread your fingers wide. Have your shoulders over your wrists. And tuck your toes, lift your heart, lift your tail. Inhale. Exhale, untuck your toes, round your back. Head gets heavy. Stay here for your in-breath. Exhale, tuck toes, lift heart, lift tail. Stay here for your in-breath. Exhale, untuck toes. Head heavy, curl tail under. Stay here for your in-breath. Exhale, tuck toes, lift heart, lift tail. Stay here for in-breath. Exhale, untuck toes. Tuck tailbone, head heavy. Stay here for your in-breath. Coming back to a neutral spine, let your knees get even wider. And we're going to send our hips back towards our heels. Make sure you have enough space for baby there. And then arms are going to reach forward, tenting up on your fingertips. And so forehead can come down if that's available to rest on the earth as you tent your fingertips and reach your arms forward. Now, slightly reach your elbows towards the earth, and then you can extend your head further forward, hips further away. Think of length through the spine.
And allow your breath to just naturally travel through this shape. And we'll walk our arms over to the right. And breathe into your whole left side of your body. Fingers can still be tented up. And you let your head relax down even more. Inhale, let your arms reach back forward and then over to the left. Breathe into your whole right side of your body. Head heavy, soften your shoulders. Coming back through center. And walk your hands under shoulders to come up to all fours once again. So just staying in tabletop for a moment, we're going to bring into our awareness pelvic floor. So if you've been practicing Kegels, that engagement of the pelvic floor, so important as our hips are widening, our pelvis is widening for baby. We want to tone and activate the pelvic floor muscles as much as we can, as well as letting it go. So we're just going to simply, it's not going to look like much here. In this tabletop, engage pelvic floor muscles and then release. And notice this relationship of engaging your pelvic floor, how it feels in the front of your core. So stay in tabletop. I'm just going to show that there's this diamond of the pelvic floor muscles that interdigitate at the pelvis, the pelvic floor. The pubic bone and the front and the tailbone, we want those 2 points to come toward each other. The two sits bones on the pelvis, we want those 2 points to come together. So those 4 points coming together and then lifting. So again, just sensing in your own body, don't wrong yourself if it's not obvious. But we're just feeling like, okay, can really feel, for me at least in my body, so that may or may not be true for you, when I engage my pelvic floor, do I notice it kind of pulls the lower part of my abdomen in, and then release. So we're going to come back to a wide-legged or wide-kneed child's pose once again. And option, while we're here, to bring in the pelvic floor breathing awareness. So engaging pelvic floor and releasing it. Bring your hands forward, and then if it's available to bring your elbows down, hands in prayer, forehead on the earth, shifting your hips back towards your heels, walk your elbows forward, lengthen through your front of the body as you reach your hips back. And here we'll stay for some breath. As you inhale, relax your pelvis, relax your pelvic floor. As you exhale, draw your pelvic floor muscles toward each other. Inhale, relax pelvic floor. Exhale, draw pelvic floor together. Inhale, relax pelvic floor, hips towards heels. Exhale, or inhale, my bad, fully. And just continue a few on your own, toning pelvic floor as you exhale. And then we'll let our arms reach forward, hands come under shoulders to come back to tabletop. Okay. On your next inhale, right arm reaches forward, left leg reaches back. Gaze down. Inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna bring our arm and leg out to the side. Keep your pelvis steady so your leg might not be that high up. Mine sure isn't. Inhale, reach arm and leg forward, back. Exhale, out to the side. Really press with your hand and knee that are on the ground. Keep the back of the neck long. Inhale, arm and leg reach back. Exhale, arm out to side, leg out to side. And inhale, arm reach forward, back. And hand and knee comes down. Other side. So again, keep your pelvis steady as best you can. Mine certainly wants to hike up. Left arm forward, right leg back. Gaze down, inhale. Exhale, reach out to the side. Whew. You might feel this in your sacrum. Inhale, arm and leg reach forward, back. Exhale, out to side. Inhale, arm and leg forward, back. Exhale, out to side. Inhale, reach forward, back. And come to hands and knees. So keeping your hips over your knees, walking arms forward. You can stay tented up on your fingers. And here we'll go slow, so we might not go that far to the ground. We might stay here with our ears in line with our arm. And then scoop tail under, really lengthen arms forward energetically. And you can play with a little bit with lifting and scooping your tailbone. Walk your hands back under your shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. And tuck your toes. We're going to lift our knees and come into bent knee down dog. So you can really widen your feet here. Bend your knees a lot. Sway side to side. And then coming back to knees and exhale, fold back, prayer pose. You can widen your knees a lot, arms reach forward, tent up on your fingertips, and scoop tail under as you reach arms forward, forehead to the earth. Okay, walk your hands back under your shoulders, hands and knees. Tuck your toes, lift hips back and up to down dog. Pedaling out through your feet. You can bend your knees a lot. And lift your right leg back and up. Bend your knees, spin your hip open, and then we're going to do 3 leg circles in one direction. And then 3 in the other direction. Bring your foot back down, other side. Right leg reaches back and up, bend your knee, left leg. Bend your knee, spin your hip open, and then 3 leg circles in one direction. and then 3 in the other. Coming back to downward dog. Knees come down and sit back on your feet. So untuck toes. Take a moment here. So I notice whenever I do anything active now, I want to make sure you don't have too much in your belly beforehand. So acknowledging the changes of lack of space for food and so forth, like that acid reflux. So just giving permission to pause more and more and more throughout these changes. Now we're going to come onto our backs. So here, you'll definitely want support under your sacrum. And if you have a bolster at home, it might be a little too thick actually. So a blanket would be better. So make sure we'll take a moment to get yourself set up with a blanket to cushion underneath your sacrum. And then come on to the backs. Hug knees in towards chest. And hands on knees, just doing some leg circles to start. Can try going wide, having your knees mirror each other. And then keeping the right knee in your chest, left foot to the earth. And you're welcome to keep your left foot here, engage the inner leg to have your inner leg active. Or if it's okay to slide your left leg down on the ground, you're welcome to do that. And then once you're there, point and flex your foot a few times and really press the heel into the earth to jostle the rest of the body from that point and flex action. If you're still with your foot on the ground, knee bent, you can just press your foot forward and back to get that same jostle. So wanting this to be a soothing action for the rest of the back of the body. And then keep your foot still. We're going to draw your right knee in towards your chest, then out towards the right shoulder, massaging back and forth inside of the hip. And now we're going to bring our knee into our hands with this resistance. Press so much that your arms are straight. Create that tension there. Slightly tuck your chin. Bend your knee if your leg is straight. This is a sacrum stabilizer. So really press the knee into the hands. Then left leg reaches to the sky. Flex your left foot. Keep your right knee pressing into your hands. Now we're only going to go as far down with the lifted leg that feels supportive for your body in this time. So inhale, lower leg forward and down.
And then externally rotate it out to this side. Bring your leg out to the left, and then back up to where it started at that angle with the foot, and we'll continue. So, and then toes point forward. Inhale, reach leg forward, down. Externally rotate toes out to the left. Leg goes out to the left a little bit. And then keep that angle of the foot externally rotated as you bring your leg back up to the sky. Then rotate toes back to where you started. We'll do 2 more. Keep the pressing into the hands. Inhale, flip forward down. Rotate out to the left. Exhale, leg comes back up. Toes forward. And hug both knees into chest. And take a pause. Now, bringing your left knee into your hands, right foot comes to the earth. And you can stay there with your right foot on the earth, or you can extend your leg long. And here you might point and flex your toes and do that jostle movement. Knee can be bent or legs straight. And then we'll release the jostle, and then bring your left knee in toward your chest, and then out to the left shoulder or toward the left shoulder, and just back and forth a few times to really massage the inside of your hip. And then we'll come back to center. Press your knee into your hands, arms straighten. Keep that resistance. Bend your right knee if it was straight. Bring your right leg to the sky. Flex your foot. Keep pressing your knee into your hands. Keep that resistance. That's what stabilizes the sacrum. And then we'll lower right leg forward and down. Again, at whichever angle feels good and supportive in your pelvis. Externally rotate your foot out to the right. Bring your leg out a little to the right. And then at the same angle, bring your foot back up to where you started. So we are also engaging the inside of the leg. Toes point back forward. Inhale, leg forward and down. Externally rotate. Leg goes out to the right. Then back up. It's making this isosceles triangle of sorts. And we'll do 2 more. Inhale, reach forward and down. Externally rotate. Come back up. Toes forward. Inhale, reach forward and down. Externally rotate. And then leg comes back up. And hug knees into chest. So I don't believe I counted correctly on the other side, but pregnancy brain. I highly, highly recommend doing this sacrum stabilizer for you mamas out there, and also anyone that needs some sacrum stabilizing. You can share this with anyone in your life that might need that support. Hug both knees into chest, and we'll just gently rock back and forth. You can also do this anytime you feel like one sacrum is out, and play with, like, does it feel better to do just one side, and see if that would help balance your sacrum. Bring your
right foot to the earth, left knee into chest, and left foot flex and come into a half happy baby pose on your left side to start. And you can stay here. Your hand might not reach for your foot. It could also reach for the lower leg or even the back of the thigh. You can also play with not using your hands at all and just creating this shape. It's like you're in a stirrup position if you're riding a horse, but on your back and your foot's flexed, and then drawing your knee in towards the earth. So we're really having it be an active half happy baby pose. And this is good for building up the stability in the hips. Again, here we can play with pelvic floor engagement. So whatever you're choosing, you can be holding your leg, you can be holding your foot, breathing here. Your right leg might stay bent, or your right leg might reach forward and down if that's available on the front of the hip. A few more rounds of breath here. And if your right leg is forward on the ground, bend it. You're going to bring your left foot on top of your right knee. And staying with your right foot on the ground to start. And here we're going to press the left foot into the right knee. Draw your knee away from your body. Your right knee is drawing, or your left knee is drawing away from your body. Scoop your tailbone under. Arms can come at goal post up overhead. Slightly tuck your chin. And so what we're doing, this is more of an invisible action, but instead of a thread the needle where we're stretching our hips, where our hips are likely already getting a lot of stretch, pressing the foot that's on the ground into the earth, lengthening the low back. So I'm scooping my tailbone under. My arms are up overhead in a goal post, and I'm drawing my chin to my chest, and I'm lengthening the back of my head, breathing, and I'm drawing my left knee away from my body. So it's creating space in some of the hip flexors while strengthening. A few breaths here. And we'll release. So now we're going to hug the right knee into the chest, coming into the half happy baby on this side. Left knee can stay bent. You might reach for the inside of the right foot, the lower leg, the back of the leg, or just try with no hands. Lots of options here. Wherever you're at, staying connected with your breath and what is supportive for your body in this time. You're welcome to keep your left leg bent or straighten it on the earth. And notice the ever-changing nature of our breath. Each time we bring that awareness to our breath that contracts and expands, it's preparing us for that contraction and expansion that is to come with labor, with bringing in this new life, the contractions that happen to then bring forth this whole new expansion. The more that we can witness these changes through our breath, through our different practices, we can allow this mystery to be moving through our bodies with maybe just a little more grace. And if your left leg is extended on the ground, we'll bend your knee to bring it back up. Bring your right foot on top of your left knee. Active thread the needle with staying with the left foot on the ground. Reach your arms up overhead, goalpost, tuck your chin, bring breath and space into the rib cage. Tuck your tail, draw your right knee away from your body. Ground down through the left heel. Breathe. These subtle actions which become not so subtle. So again, tucking chin, back of the neck is long, breathing space into the rib cage. You might be toning and releasing your pelvic floor. So much that's happening under the surface. It's one of the glorious things about being pregnant is that there's so much happening that's not in our conscious control. And then bringing in more awareness where we can, and then letting go and witnessing all the changes that's happening beneath the surface. And exhale, bring both knees into chest. You can roll into one side and slowly come back up to a seat. Bringing your feet wide, hands behind you, lift chest up. This is quite the crotch shot. We're going to lift chest up, micro bend the elbows, internally rotate the right leg towards the earth. The right knee might touch the earth, and then we'll come back up. Left knee towards the earth, and come back up. I'll show you a side view too. So the hands can be turned out. They can also be turned back or forward. So there's wrist stretch happening. Feet are as wide as your mat if you're using a mat. So choose which hand position is supportive for you. Micro bend the elbows, lift the chest. So we're getting a chest opener here. Then right knee towards the earth. Come back up, left knee towards the earth. And this feels so good in my hips and my chest. Wonder how it feels for your body. And just continue this swaying windshield wiper action of the legs. Let your pelvis be really rooted down. So the more I can let my pelvis be rooted, it can be like a massage for the outer hips. And the next time we bring the right knee towards the earth, we're going to stay here. You might adjust your hands so you feel more support. Bend your elbows, lift your chest. And drawing your knee towards the earth. And then subtle movements in the pelvis here. You can tuck and scoop. Tuck and scoop. Lift the tail around this fixed point. So internally rotating the hip, because we're getting, again, so much external rotation preparing for birth. And so just countering that with some of this internal rotation can be really healthy for our hips. And then we'll come back to center, left side, left knee towards the earth, and then staying in that position, keep lifting chest up, and then subtle movements of the pelvis around this fixed point. So can lift the tail, scoop the tail, internal rotation. To get a little bit more, press the inside of the left foot into the earth. Oh yeah. And then we'll come back to center. Fingers point towards your feet now. Micro bend the elbows. I'm gonna lift the chest. If it's available to come to reverse tabletop, please do. If you need to change your hands, do that. You can have your fingers point away from each other. So really press with the feet, the heels to lift, looking up, back of the neck long, stretching the front of the arms, the front of the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, hips come down and come to our seat. So bringing the right hand to the earth, the left arm is going to stay relaxed along the side. So you might stay pretty high up because we want to create length through the whole left side. If it's available to come down on your hand, you might come all the way onto your elbow, but starting with where you can breathe more through your whole side. And then allowing your head to your right ear to come towards your right shoulder, but not drooping your head so much, but allowing that whole side of the neck to get a stretch too. Left fingers are heavy, relaxed. Breathing here, root down with your pelvis. Then bringing your left hand behind your head, reaching all the way over. Inhale here, lift heart. Exhale, flip it over. Inhale, arm reaches back, look up. Exhale, slip your arm forward. Inhale, arm reaches back and up, gaze up. Exhale, look forward. And last one, arm reaches back and up. Inhale and exhale. Left arm reaches forward, comes back to the side, and slowly curl back up. Other side, left hand to the earth. So again, you can stay pretty elevated here. If it's a lot, you can be tented on your fingertips. You can bring your hand down, maybe elbow. But again, we want to create space for baby, space for mama. So space in the whole right side now. Left arm, or the right arm's relaxed, fingers are heavy. Let your ear, left ear come towards left shoulder. Breathe through your whole right side. Ground down through the right sits bone even more. Here again, we can be constantly practicing. The inhale relaxes the pelvic floor. Exhale, draw the pelvic floor together and up. And then sweep your right arm along your side, behind your head, reach long. Inhale here, lift chest. Exhale, sweep arm forward. Inhale, reach, look up. Exhale, sweep forward. Inhale, sweep arm, look up. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward, last one. Inhale, sweep, look up. Exhale, arm reaches forward, back alongside, and slowly come back up to your seat. Just a few shoulder rolls here, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears and down your back. A few times. And we'll place our hands back to where we started, in our womb space, in our current center of gravity, our center where so much is happening beneath the surface. If you'd like to close your eyes again, just to tap in and notice however you feel now after this practice. And coming into that place of more stillness now, perhaps you might tap into the movements happening beneath the surface with this curiosity. So grateful to have shared this practice with you all. If your eyes are closed, you're welcome to open them. May you feel more connected to your own being and your baby that's inside you. And I'd love to hear from you how this felt in your body. And if you have any specific questions or things that you would like to work with, please let me know. You can put those suggestions or questions in the comments or contact me directly. It's been an absolute pleasure practicing with you. Gabe and I send so much love your way.